What's going on this Wednesday?
Hi, Scott. Thank you for the great intro, as always. Brad, how's your mic? Just a test.
I hope it's coming through loud and clear. It's more like a web show than a webinar, right?
True, it is a web show. It's kind of behind the scenes a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to begin right now. It's our April 21st Wednesday Q&A web show, as Brad likes to say it, or where a Q&A session where you guys get to interact with the founders of the company, ask us a little bit about what we're doing. We're very excited to be here talking to you. This is one of the ways that we are able to really keep just ourselves grounded, not being the C-suite executives that I joked about, I think, last Q&A webinar. We're nothing like that. We're regular old guys like yourselves, and we're excited to be here. So let's begin. Our first disclaimer. I love starting with the disclaimers. What a world we live in, Brett. And first, let's start with the disclaimer. Obviously, you guys should know by now that Trade Ideas is in no way a registered investment advisor. All the information that you're going to be hearing today from myself, Brad, or Scott, or anybody else that's a team member of Trade Ideas is for educational and informational purposes only. Please consult a registered investment advisor if you're seeking specific registered advice for your trading, which this is not. Okay, let's begin. You guys already know this, but you are our venture capitalists. In other words, it's through your subscriptions that we are able to function as a business in no other way. We don't have millions and billions of dollars from Silicon Valley or China. We just simply do it the old-fashioned way. Sorry, but I had to throw that in. We just do it the old-fashioned way. We have a business, we run it well, we make money at it, and we continue to win with you guys helping us all along the way. And we're about to be listed 5 years in a row on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing privately held companies. And this year going to be bigger than the one before. So we're doing very well, all thanks to you, and we are very appreciative of it. Today's presentation is going to be really cool because it's going to give you a peek inside of the lab. And we do this from time to time where what we want to do is since you guys are here on the Q&A, we want to show you the process of how we make things happen. And one of these ways is, again, we listen to what you guys say. When we do that, we like to think that we do that pretty well. One of the things that you've been talking about, for example, for a long time is that people often start off in the market and it's very easy to lose money. We knew that, and as a result, we built what we believe is the best simulated trading system available. If you're not using it, even if you are a customer and a premium customer, you should always be using the simulated trading because it helps you be better, like the driving range for professional golfers or anything else that a professional does. This is where you practice. It's the gym if you're a professional fighter. Simulated trading helps you see what's going on in an unemotional way, but yet visual and interactive. And our simulated trading environment, of course, is the same exact environment that you get through Brokerage Plus, which connects to interactive brokerage and ETrade. So we're going to pause that there. We're coming upon a very important event that's going to take place, and that is our 2-week test drive. It's going to be starting from May 10th to May 21st. And I want to just reiterate the fact that this is where people get to really dive into Trade Ideas. It only costs $8.99 for the 2 weeks. And lots of standard subscribers come in and try all the premium features, and also lots of new people come in and test out everything we have. And this one is especially for the new people. We haven't done it. Brad, could you remind me, or maybe Scott, when was the last time we did a test drive?
I think it was October, but it could have been.
It was November.
Huh.
It's in November.
Okay, so it's been a while, and the reason there's been a lot of stuff going on under the hood. Again, we've been developing. For us, back when I used to be a marathon runner, there's this adage or a motivational thing that we used to use called "there is no finish line." And this is kind of the same way for us. We keep moving. We never say, okay, once we do this, then Trade Ideas is done. It's a continuing learning process We're interacting with yourselves and the market, and hopefully getting better at this whole thing. But I want to make sure you guys know lots of exciting new things are going to be under the hood in this test drive. And if you, again, most of you are already premium subscribers, so this may not apply to you specifically, but certainly for those that aren't, you should give it a try and tell your friends. We welcome everybody, and it's trade-ideas.com/test drive. Probably going to be the biggest one we've ever had. Okay, so one of the things that I'm really excited about is, as you guys know, last week we introduced you to the Trade Ideas strength alerts, and there's a slide for that in this presentation, but I want to kind of give you a peek as to what is coming in terms of a new product that we're bringing out. So this is called Trade Ideas 1, as in you've already won with Trade Ideas, and it's an email alerts only system. It's going to be $11 a month, and it's every day you're going to get some alerts about something that's happening. And of course, on this graphic, I actually missed the most important part of the thing I was trying to show you, but let's move to this one. It kind of looks like this. So you're going to get an alert, and it's going to give you some symbols like HCSG. The shorts are in panic mode. And what this is telling you is that there's a big short interest in the stock, and the stock is moving up higher. Another one that we got today, and I unfortunately forgot to add the email part to the graphic, was love. The shorts are in panic mode. And you can see this is the landing page, roughly speaking. Again, we're kind of giving you just a peek. So the idea here is that there's no configuration, there's nothing, and what's really cool about it, and I still am excited about it even though I use the product all the time, is that through the notifications on your phone, you will see this, oh, you just got an email from Trade Ideas, and it says the shorts are in panic mode. If you click on that email, you'll be able to see something like this, okay? And again, it's a picture of a chart and some information about it. And in this particular example, you can see that the information is, well, it has a large percentage short. That means that the quote unquote smart guys, and again, you guys know that we've talked about the whole GameStop situation, which we're not going to talk about at all today, but it's the same concept over and over again. You've got the pros, quote unquote, betting against the little guys, or in this case, also betting against the companies. And I'm not saying they're always wrong, but in this particular case, you're combining two aspects together. Number one, they show their hands by the fact that you can see what's called a short float, meaning that 21% of the 11 million is short. In other words, they've sold this company and they want to buy it back at a cheaper price, hopefully zero, as we learned about GameStop. And the stock is moving up. As it moves up, these short guys are in panic mode because it hurts them to be short. They're paying interest on those loan stocks, and also their unrealized gains are actually losses, which means that they could get what's called a margin call. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to minimize this, and Brad, we're going to switch to you in a second because Brad's got a lot of really cool stuff to show you. But I want to show you what I wanted to say about this, which is the testing of this is going very well. Okay, this is what it looks like in the email. This is another symbol, HCSG, the shorts are in panic mode. Notice how it's simple. There's no configuration, there's nothing to do, and it's simple. And by the way, everybody who's a pro user, and I think standard too, Brad, you can set these up yourselves now, right?
Yeah, you can set these up standard. You can do that.
Yeah, so maybe Brad, you'll go through what we're going to show them on your computer, but then also the setup for what this would look like. You know, how to do it without the, again, this is aimed at people who don't have a lot of time, who are not in front of the computer. So this is an email alerting system. It's $11 a month, and you're going to get emails whenever this situation happens. But again, it's throttled, so you're never going to get email. It's probably going to be 3 or 4 a day maximum all throughout the day. Okay. So Brad, I'm going to hand it over to you, sir.
All right. Let me share my desktop here.
Wait, hold on. Wait, one sec. Sorry. But right before you go, can everyone still see mine or not? Let me go back to mine real quick. I knew what I wanted to show, and I only remembered after I saw my screen.
Here, I'll send it to you.
Okay. All right. So guys, do you see my screen? Okay. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Dimitri. Okay. So notice why I said that it's testing well. Okay. I said testing very well. So what we do is, and by the way, this is in simulated trading mode. This is, again, me at the driving range working on a concept product. We didn't come up with this today, by the way. I'm just saying that we've been doing this for a little while and it looks good. Okay, and here's how it looks good. You can see like the two alerts that I showed you, LOVE and HCSG. When I got the email alert, I bought it. Bought 1,000 shares. Just trying to see what it would feel like throughout the day. And this one is one that we got over here 2 days ago, PetQ. Again, notice the same concept, at least 17% of the float short, and it's moving higher, which means the shorts are in panic. There's nothing like, doesn't have to be too fancy, guys, but do you see what is possible? And I'm just like doing very basic stuff. I saw an alert, placed the trade. Obviously, it's 1,000 shares, so I probably wouldn't have done it per se with this amount, but I'm just trying to get a feel for different things, and I want you guys to see what I'm seeing.
So it's probably important to point out as well, Dan, that we don't have some wizard behind a curtain that's saying, all right, PETQ, send that out to everybody. This is really just a trade idea strategy that anybody could have. You could run it in an alert window or such, and that we don't really know it's going to be generated at the beginning of the day. So as it's very much kind of like an AI in a way, because as all the alerts and filters match up, when the criteria hits, it's just going to be generated and the email will be sent off.
And this goes back to the whole notion that many of you have real paying jobs, you're doctors, lawyers, other professionals, and you just might not have as much time to dedicate to active investing. And we hear you, and this is our answer to it. And I kind of just wanted in this Q&A for you guys to be able to see the thought process behind the scenes, like what we're doing, how we're thinking about it, and why we think something will or won't work. In this example, and obviously, and there's no way that of course, the timing is perfect because today the market's up and everything else. But again, that happens sometimes, which no problem. We like that. But PetQ was there from several days ago. And in fact, the first day that I bought it, Brad, notice where I bought it, like at 40.33, it actually closed negative. So the first day it ran up to 41, but then came down pretty hard. Okay, but I held it because again, I'm just number one, this is simulation, so I'm trying to get some ideas. But number two, even on a percentage move basis, there was nothing to panic about. It never went below the low of the gap up. And then the next day it ran, and then today it continued. So it's a beautiful move. And we want to deliver this in a product that's very, very simple for you guys to use. And I'll show you again how when we're on Brad's computer, which Brad, take it away. We're going to show you how to set something like this up for yourselves if you're already subscribers.
Did you want to share that strategy at all or no?
Brad, remember how I get the email, but because I deleted all of the stuff, I don't exactly remember where it was. Let me take a look.
I can grab it. I can grab it. It's in your account. So
shorts are in panic.
A couple channels, and then I'll have it. That way, when I demonstrate it, I can show it.
Let me see. I'm going to give this to everybody. This may not be.
Oh, you got it. Okay, good. Yeah.
So I'm throwing it into chat, the cloud link, and let me say shorts are in panic. Let me load it. Yeah, here it is. This is what, are they still looking at my screen, Brad?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like. And obviously, remember, the beauty of the email concept here is that you're not going to get this, but no. You're just going to get this one. Same thing with, and it comes all throughout the day, but you're not going to be needing to be into it like, like somebody who's at the computer the whole time. Dimitri, yes, it's very similar to the short squeeze channel, 100%. But we like short squeeze is such a great, so I'm going to close this window. Everyone has it, right? You have the cloud link in the chat, so we're all good. What we're simply showcasing is the fact that you can take a concept and really create a strategy out of a concept, and you can then productize that concept. So we're not simply limiting ourselves to shorts or in panic mode, but we love that because it's it's thinking that isn't like CNBC centric and the traditional, oh, the fundamentals, blah, blah, blah. No. This is kind of psychology together with momentum and the pain of money management. So it doesn't have to do really that much with the company, but so much more with the psychology of the people who are at the poker table, which is your counterparty. The hedge funds are short, and we think in this case, since the stock is moving higher, you have a good chance of doing something good if you are able to get in and manage and have something like this run. Okay, so Brad, let's do it. Brad, do you want to kind of give the highlight, or do you?
I'm sorry, my mute was on. I'm asking if it's coming through and you can see my desktop.
Yes.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is more of a different type of container system. Inside of Trade Ideas for 18 years, we've had, which is, I think, a pretty cool thing, nothing but free floating windows. So it's a very flexible type of window layout container. But the flexibility is limited in the ability to bring windows into a single container. And this is one of the things that we're going to be unveiling here very shortly. As I move this around, we can do a lot of flexible things inside of the window. So I can detach windows right from the dock. I can also move them around inside of the dock into other windows. So I could take that chart and I could move it right next to this other window that I have. And I can also have tabs in the windows. So I could hit this drop down and go to a variety of different windows that I have. Maybe this alert window I'm looking at, click on it, everything should still be linked here. And I can change the format of these windows. So in this one, let me bring it up to the top.
Whoa.
You can size your panels. So I mean, it really does get super flexible. And one of the things that we have plans of bringing in are having multiple docking containers. So you have that. I'm going to go ahead and make it a little smaller here. And then if you just wanted to grab a window out of here, you could just grab it right out, pull it into a free floating mode. Again, you still have access to the other windows inside of this particular dock. So it's just, it's another way to use Trade Ideas. You're going to be able to have multiple channel bars. You're going to be able to have a channel bar inside of a dock window as well as free floating, giving you more flexibility to do some channel browsing while you still have your other windows on the screen, either in a free floating mode or in a dock.
Yeah, I think, Brad, this is a great example of, our R&D being presented to you, the customers, so that you can see what we're doing. Notice that since the beginning, and I think we've said this many, many times, we do not focus on the indicators, because indicators there's millions of indicators, and as far as we're concerned, none of them work. We're focused on statistical analysis and helping to improve the way you interact with the data. We're looking at this as like, we know the pain it is of like if you have a layout and then you change layouts and a window gets stuck. And again, our channel bar is very powerful, but we want to make it even better. And obviously you're seeing a very, very early prototype. Okay, so just make sure you guys know this, but we want to show you what's under the hood in the dev department and how we are constantly pushing to improve the way that you interact with our data. And here we kind of gave you two separate components of that on the one hand, we hear you in terms of not being glued to your computer screen all day long. And then we also hear you in terms of just flexibility of use. And this is something that we wanted for a long time, but we finally had the ability to kind of resource it in. And again, I love just seeing what Brad's doing. And Brad, just move the whole thing over to the left or over to the right. I personally trade on 3 monitors. So, you know, this is the beauty of what's happening here, is that you've got this ability to take, let's say, the short squeeze, right, and maybe put it on 1 monitor, and then you're on the Brokerage Plus container layout in another monitor, and then potentially something totally different in another monitor. So that's where we believe we are completely taking it to the next level.
Let me do a little, I'm going to close this right here. I'm going to load up the regular version here because I want to show something. So you dropped that cloud link in the chat, and I want to go ahead and show you how you could take that strategy and you could, well, 1, you could load it up, and 2, you could automate it. You could throw it into Brokerage Plus, and so anytime there's a signal there, it may be a little bit of a noisy strategy to be automated, but I'm going to show you how to do it, and you could take any strategy you create and do that. So the first thing is I've dropped it in my clipboard. I went to the chat window and I grabbed it. Just go to my cloud channel right here. And I must not have grabbed it. That's the wrong one. 1 second. So one thing you should know, you know, I was kind of shocked when I loaded that up. Should have populated right here from my clipboard. So that's how I knew there may be a little issue. So let's hit load. And this is the window here that Dan was talking about. This is the one that he has coming through his email. Let me bring in Brokerage Plus. And let me connect. I'll just connect to the simulated account. And
Nice
let me go
today,
into, what's that, Dan?
Yeah, nice work today in your Sims.
Yeah, it was a good day. All right, so we're going to go to strategies, and I'm going to grab this window here. It's still in my clipboard. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to new trading strategy. Actually, I'm going to go to load from cloud since it's in the cloud right now. And I'll just load it. I'm going to add it to the existing, and you're going to see the very last line here is the shorts are in panic mode. I need to tell it what I want it to do with that anytime there's a signal. So what I'll do is I'll edit the trading strategy. This is the entry time. I'm not going to trade for the first half hour, not going to trade for or not going to initiate any positions in the first half hour or the last hour. I have a few other parameters I can set right here. The order details is very important. How do you want to size your order? Either in dollar value, either in fixed shares, or based on a stop loss right there. You'll need to define a stop loss if you're going to use that one. And then are you going to enter that order in as a limit order, as a market order, or even a limit delta? Where you can pay up a little bit for it, or even maybe bid in a little less than what the last price is. So once you set that up right there, and this is where you would set your stop loss or your profit target. How long do you want to hold it? These are all the parameters. This is how it's set right now, but you can set this to anything that you want. And you hit OK. It's right here ready to go. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go ahead and just turn it on. So it's disabled right now. Click to enable. It's now on. So it's ready, it's listening. It's only going to work during the market hours, but that's how you would take a strategy that someone gave you through the cloud and drop it in. You can always configure your own. You can always grab something here, save it to your cloud, and bring it right back into your own window.
Brad, you know, when you were doing that, it made me think how it actually almost would be cool to be able to just drag the window into the strategies and have it prompt you to say, would you like to replace or add this to? You know, like instead of going the right click and load from, I'm just saying. And these are the things, you know, it's kind of funny. Like obviously, Brad and I probably could have figured that out on a multiple choice test on the SATs or something like that, but you sometimes don't come across all this stuff because you're doing so many different things. And again, we want to make it easy for you guys to be able to share strategies, add strategies. And Brokerage Plus is so powerful, but we know that there's some limitations on its ease of use. And again, we're very focused on making it easier for you. And that's a priority for us. And you kind of can hopefully see what we're doing from that perspective.
So Cameron had a good question. He was asking if there's a way to highlight the entire row, and mine by default is set up that way. Barry told him that you just go to the tools area right here, select options, and then we've got a highlight grid row upon selection. Mine is selected, which means I'm going to get the whole row. If you have that unselected, and there's a reason for doing that as well. Maybe you just want to copy the symbols down. You would do that for a symbol list. Maybe you wanted to grab all this data to drop it into Excel. Well, that's when you'd want to use the whole row. So a couple different ways to do that and for different reasons.
I think Cameron and I would have failed this question on the Trade Ideas entrance exam together. I forgot what that was. I'm just saying. Again, guys, we talk about how Trade Ideas has some similarities to the power of something like an Adobe Photoshop, in that if you really know what you're doing, you can layer colors and do 3D graphing, or if you're just doing cut and paste, you can do that too. And I love seeing that, because again, I think mine's just like what you had, mine's defaulted to the entire row, and I simply forgot about that part.
Yeah, and I mean, for you, for most people, really, if you're just using it to grab a symbol list, because that's one of the things that we do really well. Not only do we scan the entire market for every single stock, but we can also really refine it to a particular symbol list or a portfolio. And I know you have a couple windows like that. I've got a window like that over here, which is just a top list, no filters at all, just the columns and data that I want to see. That's going to, let me know things that I've recently traded and how are they doing right now.
Yeah, it's so funny, Brad. I'm so used to being the screen, and I like just seeing it from your perspective, because, when you're driving, I get to see someone else do stuff that I, again, just haven't done in a little while. And so, Brad, Mark had a question about ETrade, and as far as I understand, ETrade is in the current beta, correct?
You bet. ETrade is functional. Download, go to our website, go to the download page, go all the way down to the beta download, and you'll find that the ETrade connectivity is in that version.
Yeah, and this is a zero commission connectivity, unlike interactive brokerage, which does cost some money. ETrade is totally free for trading. Now, it is still in beta, and obviously you may come across some things that are not perfect, but we've had people on it now, and it seems to be pretty functional from what I understand. I mean, certainly good enough for us to put it out for you guys to work with it, obviously in beta, but still. And this is another nice part of the product in terms of the open house that we're going to have, in that during the open house, people that are trying, Brokerage Plus, if you are an ETrade customer and you have an ETrade account, you will be able to potentially, if you want to, trade via ETrade. Let's see, Steve had a great question. Steve Gomez, I'm sorry, we have a guy named Steve Gomez, Steve G, so I'm just teasing because he would laugh if he heard that. The Trade Ideas $11 product is not yet available. It's coming soon, and Brad is showing you the one that is available, and it is called the Trade Ideas Strength Alerts. Brad, let's talk about that a little bit, like what it does and how it works.
It's a little bit more of a swing approach to looking at a trade, not really looking to get in and to get out. But the way that it works is, I think it's Sunday evening, you're going to be presented with an email, and the email is effectively this right here. So if you're a subscriber to Trade Ideas, you already have it. But the email is calling out 5 different stocks that look like there's something that could be in a bullish activity, and it gives you some description on what the rationale for that move is, a little bit of the description of it, and then you have the chart of that company in a single stock detail. And we've got this for 5 different securities, and this is what our 2nd or 3rd week running on it, and it's had some pretty good success. And this is being curated by a team member of ours, Michael Noss, and he's using what is he using? He's using the Market Explorer, which is something that we hope to release here in the next couple months. I'm not even going to talk about it, but it's fantastic technology. So he's using that tool right there to generate these particular signals, going through and vetting them as well, and then generating this email once a week.
Yeah, we're very happy with this. And again, it goes towards our premise of simplifying the product into different components, whether it's Trade Ideas 1 or Strength Alerts. So I want to make sure you guys kind of fundamentally understand the Strength Alerts. They come out on Monday, right, Brad? Is that it?
Yeah, they come out Monday morning. I think it may be released Sunday evening, but it's for in play Monday morning. And these are effectively the stocks right here. It's just in a top list with these 5 different stocks. And then we've got a streaming alert window down in the bottom, along with the description here. And you can move that out. There's a daily and a weekly chart.
Right, and the difference here is whereas the Trade Ideas Strength Alerts come out once a week, and again, remember, different people interact with the market in a different way. The Trade Ideas 1 product, which is going to be the $11 product, you're going to get several emails throughout the day. So it's going to be every day most likely, and a couple of emails here and there. And the idea is that we're saying, look, hey, take a look. You may not want to trade everything, but these things looking interesting, and that's why I showed you guys how I interacted with them on my simulated trading account. So Brad, is there a historical TI strength? Like, in other words, do people know, and I'm asking literally because I don't know myself, but does the window where we're describing everything, does it show like the whole list of strength alerts, or is it just new every
It doesn't, but it probably should. And I need to talk with Michael about his time horizon on that. If it's more than a week, then it would be a very good idea to continue to have them in a different window or some other place to view that. But right now, the last list is being cleared out for the current one.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. No, this looks really good. And again, it's just a completely different concept from Trade Ideas, which is really meant for the person who's in front of the computer and really kind of interacting with the market all throughout the day. So Daniel Allen asked, like, he loves the strength alerts, and he's saying, what is a suggested stop? So Daniel, I mean, this is one of these things that almost falls along the disclaimer of the first one. We don't like to give that kind of advice out because everyone's stop price has to be different, and it has to do with your own specific risk level. Somebody who's trading a $100,000 account to somebody who's trading a $10,000 account should have different stop levels. And the market favors those with bigger accounts because, you know, it gives you more flexibility. You can be wrong more times, et cetera, et cetera. But that said, you know, I would look at maybe signing up for some of the Trade Ideas educational classes that we have that we'll discuss towards the end of the webinar. And we give lots of high-level suggestions on that. Sometimes a very simple option, and again, is just what's called the 20-day low. Again, if you're thinking about being something for what we like to call slightly longer term, a good high-level stop is what's called the 20-day low, which is roughly the monthly low, because that way you're kind of letting the market digest here, digest there, and not panicking, paper handing yourself out. Day trading, the way it's been painted in the markets and on CNBC, is certainly a loser's game. Not that day trading per se is bad, but simply getting in only to exit at the end of the day because the market is over because you're worried about something happening overnight. Well, I mean, then you're going to miss the kind of move that's going to propel you to an account that you would have never thought you could have had. Okay, it's impossible to chase a Tesla, for example, when it was running from 200 to 800 if you're doing it every single day. Because again, it's just so volatile, and then it'll gap down, but then retrace the whole gap down, and you would have never known to do. It's emotionally too taxing. Okay. All right, so how are we caught up on the questions, I think?
I think we're caught up on the questions.
Okay, fantastic. Let's see, I'm trying to think, Brad, since we're on your screen. A gentleman had asked about adding indicators into, I think a top list. And I was going to say, maybe you could show, for example, so I want you to do two things, since basically it's easy since you're driving. let's show how to add like an RSI and a Bollinger Band into your top list for any stock so you could see some more technical data points.
Sure. So I'll do it this TI strength window right here. Everything is right-click sensitive from a menu perspective. So if you right-click, you're going to get your menu. We're going to want to go to configure. And what'd you say, RSI, Bollinger Band?
RSI is an easy one, and then maybe some Bollinger Bands.
Yeah, so you're just going to go to the search field here and you're going to type in RSI. It's going to tell you exactly what you can add to it. In this case, let me add, say, a 5-minute and a daily, and I'll just use a control to do that. And I'll just show the column. I could add these as filters too in the window if I wanted to make sure that the RSI on the 5-minute was between a certain value or over or under a certain value. I could do that. But in this case, let's just show the columns and then hit OK. Nothing really changed here. It's from a configuration perspective. But over here, we've got the RSI 5-minute and the RSI daily. Now, I could have in the same step added the Bollinger Bands, but we'll just come back to it and we'll type in B space B. I could type in Bollinger Bands, but so I have to learn how to spell it right. So here are the different Bollinger Bands that we have. The 5-minute and the daily, let me add both of those. And so just show the column, hit OK. I mean, really, you do this a couple times and it's pretty simple.
Yeah, so you have this ability that everything that we look for as a filter, as Brad said, can be added to a top list. And we want to just say this again, and I've said this over and over, I think for years now that we've been doing this. Try to get your mind away out of the technical indicator mess that it becomes for the individual investor. I'm going to go back to golf. And for people that learn golf, there's a term called paralysis by analysis. It is so easy to overthink the golf swing into like, well, where's my wrist hinge and what's my weight doing and how's that relative to where my weight is? Is it on the left leg? When do I shift my weight? What's the club head doing? And literally what happens is you stop playing golf. It's been proven.
When Dan's not trading, he's instructing people on the golf course.
Correct. What you want to do is you want to feel. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting a feel for a position in the Bollinger Band, but please know that these are just high-level things. Your eyes can tell you everything that you need to know. And this is, again, what Brad is doing right now is a very important part that shows you how do you do it on a chart. And Brad, maybe you can talk through that a little bit, because it's not like we're indicator handicapped.
We're not indicator handicapped, and if you just right click on a chart, you can, I have a few more options here, but I think everybody just has this indicators option, and you can select your indicator, go back in and edit the ones that are out there.
How about MACD? That's always a popular one for people.
Sure, we'll throw an MACD on here, and this is where you define, are you putting it in a new chart area, so that's going to be a sub panel below, or are you going to put it in the main chart area? So this will go into a new chart area, and some of the parameters that you can set to define your MACD. Just go ahead and add it and then close. And then down in my sub panel right here, this is where I have the MACD.
And again, if you are following that indicator, if it's meaningful to you, we certainly have a lot of the ones that are relatively meaningful. But remember what we've talked about, which is the pivot away from indicator dependence to your eyes, feel, and statistical analysis, which is our AI. Our AI looks at all of these stuff and all of these things, all these components, and it sorts through them to try to see, well, which of these, is it the Bollinger Bands, or is it the MACDs, or is it the RSIs, or is it the Kelter channels that are relevant for any kind of statistical analysis or strength that you can rely on as a predictive value. I mean, that's where the real math comes in. And this is all the math that's being done behind the scenes. Right now, Trade Ideas is just cranking away, trying to get ready for tomorrow, crunching numbers in a way that nobody can do on a personal computer. And that's why so many people are premium subscribers and use our technology, because again, what you're doing is, of course, you can see charts, but there's charts on eSignal and TradingView and virtually every other platform. What you're looking for is the processing power for us to be able to do all this on the server and then give you some cool heads up throughout the day, which is what the AI is doing. And I know most of you already know about it, so there's not really a need in this Q&A to jump into how the AI works, but we've had many sessions on it. So yeah.
So let me do this. Let me kind of whet people's appetites with some of the, I know you like to simplify things, and I'm not going to really go into detail here, but I am just going to show you guys that, you know, if you are creative and you do want to do your own type of mathematical manipulations with the data that we have and provide for you, you can go ahead and set up a bunch of different custom filters for yourself to use inside of your windows. An example that we're going to have, that I have as a custom filter right now, but we're going to migrate it to a regular filter, and that's the percent of float traded today, kind of like the float turnover value. And it's a really simple formula. It's really just taking the total volume today, dividing it by the float, and multiplying it by 100. So that's going to give you something really interesting. And once you've added something in here, again, just a small little help file, a little data to let you know what the codes are for all of the formulas. Once you understand that, and once you set something up, I can just go into here, go back to configure, search. Actually, I'm in the wrong account. Let me change it real quick.
Hey, Brad, also, George was asking about the MACD. He said he didn't see it when he had the indicator drop down. That's available for everybody, isn't it?
It should be available for everybody. Are you on the web or are you on the application, George?
We'll keep going. We'll wait for George.
Yeah, so I'm going to hit here. I'm going to type in float. So I've got percent of float traded today, and I could just add that as a column. I could add it as a filter if I wanted. But so now what I've taken is I've created my own filter and added it here to my own top list window. Well, I've actually modified the TI strength, but you know, just kind of made it my own. And once you do that, you can save it to the cloud, save it as a window that you can pull up in the future, and you can also save it to your own custom channel. So a custom channel, and you can have up to 5 of them. It could be a single window, it could be a couple windows, it could be a whole layout that you have there. So all you need to do is just go to edit custom channels right there. And then you could, you know, make your own image or use one of our predefined images that we have here and just drop in your cloud link. So it's really easy to do once you've created the window or the layout.
Yeah, so Brad, George is on the beta. Barry, would you double check that you can see the MACD on your end? I mean, I think you can. I'm just, you know, surprised that that's something that came
up. And George, send us an email to info@trade-ideas.com if it doesn't appear there, and we'll have one of our support guys help you out. We'll figure it out. So
Brad, you just kind of showed the very advanced part of what we were discussing, you know, of the Adobe Photoshop aspect, that if you have some mathematical skill sets, you can really completely customize trade ideas. Greg, I'm totally bullish on GameStop, and I'm diamond-handed, still in, no problems at all.
Diamond-handed here as well.
Yes, lots of diamond hands, no paper. But Brad, remember when we started this whole thing about Trade Ideas 1, we were going to show them, and your formula editing section reminded me of that. Let's show them how you can add an email alert to like create any alert window into an email alert for yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to actually use the one that you had created, right? We'll make it simple here. So I'm just going to grab this cloud link right here at the top, and this cloud link is going to help me load the window. This is kind of a little bit of a, let me just preface it by saying that we are going to be making this whole process much different than it is right now. So
yeah, it's a little bit, you know, as if it was done by a software developer.
All right, let me load the window.
I hope our guys aren't listening to this.
I know, huh? All right, so there's the window. Now what I need to do is I need to go into our website. So I'm just going to go to the Trade Ideas homepage, and I'm going to make sure that I'm logged in. Well, I know I'm logged in because I just did. I'm going to go to support. I'm going to go to account management down here. And we've got this hidden option right here for an email or SMS alert. Select it. And I've got a few set up as well. I think I'm only looking at one of them, which is this turbo breaks up in this account. But what we can do is I'm going to show you how to drop in the one that Dan had running here. So all you do is I'm going to right click on the window and I'm going to go to collaborate. This was the first method that we had within the software to share windows amongst users and to take them from the application onto a web page. And so I'm just going to grab this particular link right here. It really just has all the settings of the window all right there embedded in that link, rather than the cloud link, which we're storing the settings on our server here. So all of that's there. I'm going to come here and I'm going to drop in the collaboration link right here. I mean, this is like so bad, but I'm dropping in the link right there and I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to tell it what it is, and this is going to be the shorts are in panic mode. And we have a little legend down here at the bottom that gives you these special codes to use that'll put different bits of information on that email to you. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy one that I've been using. I kind of like this right here. Just copy it, paste it right here, and I'm just going to update the strategies. Now that one is going to be on. Now the caveat to this is going to email you as soon as an alert is generated, and then it will only email you up to 20 minutes later. So if it gets another alert within 2 minutes, it's not going to send you an email, but you do have the strategy, so you can always, well, you can always watch it either on the web or you can watch it inside of your Trade Ideas window.
But Brad, if I can comment on that, you know, I've been testing and using the shorts are in panic mode specifically for the Trade Ideas One concept. And I'm telling you guys, putting myself in the position of someone who's not in front of the computer, I actually love the fact that there's no blasting. You know, you get that one email, you take a look. What's great is that you get it, then you've got that notification in your email. It sort of pops up on your phone, visible. You don't have to open your email. It just pops up and you see the symbol, shorts are in panic mode. You already know. And then obviously if you open that email, you're going to have that attachment of the picture and some more information. And let me tell you real quick where this is going. We are going to create an app on the phone, a phone-based app, which will connect you to Brokerage Plus, but in a very simple sort of way, kind of like a Robinhood copy. And I hate Robinhood, you guys know that, and all those people, but a simple buy and sell interface to the brokers that we are connected to via the Trade Ideas. It might even be called Brokerage Plus Phone, you know, BPF. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud. But the point is that then you're going to be able to get that message on not just the email, but maybe it'll pop up as a notification on your app. And then if you click on it, it'll bring up the interface with your preferred settings. And of course, you'll be able to see the chart. And so that way you're right there. You're going to be in that same position that you are if you're using a Robinhood account, meaning that you're going to be able to either say go or no go. And the idea is that you're not going to be doing strategy trading on your phone. You're just going to be able to do the buy and the sell and maybe take a look at your positions, and that's it. So that's kind of where this is going to go in the near future. Brad, I think we're pretty good.
All right, let me bring back the slide deck.
Yeah, bring back the slide deck, and let's go to the strength alerts real quick. That slide. Yeah, let's do present. So as I was saying before, this was on there last week. The trade-ideas.com/strength. Those are the alerts that you saw. You see that there's a channel. It's new alerts every Monday. And again, it's $17 a month, designed for a different type of market data and trading consumer, somebody who has other things to do, but yet still wants to participate in the market. So check this out. Again, we've had amazing feedback and almost like 100% growth, if I understand the numbers right, in about a week and a half's time. So I really encourage you. And once again, there's really no barrier to entry because it's only $17 a month. All right, next one. Okay, our great friend Barry Anderson, team member, runs our trading room, trade-ideas.com/trading room. Always there, always available, a meritocracy of good trade ideas users who help one another. And whether you're window shopping, looking to fine tune something, and just want that daily kind of interaction, this is where you go. Highly recommended. Everybody's a big fan, ourselves included. And I think you get a lot of similar feel when you deal with Barry in the room that you're getting here. You can tell somebody who's involved, who cares about the product and the way you interact with it. But whereas with Brad and I, we come in here after hours and once a week, Barry's there every single day. Highly recommended. Let's keep going. We have 3 digital books that we often hand out. It's just a way for you to get more information from Trade Ideas. And this is one about that's done by our Director of Software Development, who's a trader and one of our lead developers into all of this stuff, David Mabe. Great guy. Take a look at that. I highly recommend it, trade-ideas.com/strategy. And this way, what I like about it, Brad, is you get a feel for not just the way we write code, but who's behind the scenes. So you can understand a little bit of the mentality of the people here. Many of the people in Trade Ideas, not all, but many, also trade, because how else can you be good at something unless you do it? And Dave, our Director of Software Development, trades every day. So he wrote this to kind of give you an idea of what he's about. Highly recommended. Our education is the thing that separates Trade Ideas from the rest of the pack. We have daily support sessions, weekdays, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I can't highlight this any more than I do every Q&A session, because this is what's different between ourselves and others, in that we understand the challenges of the market, and the people that are doing the support session are people that are experts at Trade Ideas and have lots and lots of market experience. All right, probably my favorite slide. This is when I tell you, do not subscribe to Trade Ideas. Not for 1 second. We do not want your money if you think that paying $7.50 a day for forward-facing AI that does everything that we've been telling you about is a difficult financial endeavor. Because the reason is, it's not that we don't really want you as a customer. Obviously, you know, I'm joking a little bit, but I want to be serious in that trading creates a lot of mental turmoil in one's mind. Okay, if you have to deal with losses and handling of money, and if you have a difficulty of paying, let's say, $2,300 for a year, this is without any discount codes, for a year of technology like Trade Ideas, I'm trying to help you by saying, avoid this thing, you know, avoid this business, because you will need to be able to stomach at least that much, okay, if not more. But you can see how much our stuff costs per day. And of course, today we do have a promo code for anybody who wants to use it. And it's called Opportunity, all caps, 15% off your first month or a year of Trade Ideas. But don't do it if $7.50 a day is a lot of money for you.
Point taken.
Yes, please. We also do a podcast. Please look at that on your podcast search engines. It used to be myself, but it's been taken over by our good friend Sean McLaughlin and other guests. So we highly recommend it. Much less cursing than used to happen when Jamie and I used to do it, and less conspiracy stuff. I mean, you know,
It was a little raw back then, huh?
Not everybody's into all that conspiracy stuff, Brad.
Yes, I know.
Okay. We are very easy to get a hold of, active on social media, and although your favorite humble CEO has been kicked off of all social media, just like President Trump, at Trade Ideas, at Quanbot, and at TI Steve G are all our active Twitter accounts. Please like us on Facebook and other places that don't like us, like Instagram. Shoot us an email at info@trade-ideas.com, and of course, you can always give us a call at our phone number there on the slide. Let me see if there's a couple of questions there that I need to answer. Thank you, Daniel. James, I think I'm trying to understand what your question is about. Yeah, you don't get a write-up. You always see for on the trade ideas one, you get the email with the ticker symbol and then a snapshot of why it came across, and that will be evident in the product description. The whole point is like, hey, you may want to take a look at this. You know, Brad, do me a real quick favor. Go to our homepage on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph, trade ideas will help you get into it for sure. So do you guys notice we have a list called stocks to watch on the homepage? This is a little sample of stocks to watch, and this is not unlike the trade ideas one concept, but obviously this is simply taking some of the biggest gainers that you're seeing today and displaying it to you on the homepage so that your first impression when you come to trade ideas, you're already being given some information that you may want to take a look at. Okay, it's very simple, not rocket science, but yet these are also, like, for example, if you got into these today, you might have made some good money because they were very strong. So the trade ideas one concept kind of takes this, but into the email world, and is again very specific. And we may do different strategies in there, not simply shorts aren't panic mode. In fact, you might be able to say, well, I want just, there may be 3 to choose from, and you select either all 3 or just one or something to that effect. So Scott, I think that's it for the show today.
Yeah, sounds good. Y'all can stay tuned for an email tomorrow with a link to where you can find the recording. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Scott. Take care.
Bye.